Hello, I'm Dr. Roger Greenlaw, and I would like to share with you a story from my practice. We'll be hearing about the health benefits of a high-fiber diet in a 76-year-old woman with multiple lifestyle-related diseases.
It had started several years ago, maybe 25, 30 years ago. I began gaining weight. That's the first thing I noticed. And with that weight gain, I developed some high blood pressure, and soon the doctors were talking to me about high cholesterol. And not too long after that, I started to develop what I thought were cardiovascular symptoms. I was very, very tired. I couldn't walk very much of a distance before I had to sit down. I would be out of breath. Very soon after that, I developed symptoms of diabetes. After several years of that, I started to have even more complications that come with high blood pressure and diabetes. I started to have eye problems, what they call diabetic retinopathy. So I did go to a nephrologist, and he suggested that my kidney function tests indicated that I was going into kidney failure. In fact, I was at stage 4, which sort of puts you right at the edge of needing dialysis and or a kidney transplant. Finally, one Sunday, I lost vision in my right eye, and at the same time had a problem with my right arm. There was some pain there, and I couldn't use it very easily. So then they ran more serious tests and finally did an angiogram. And at that time, they found many, 7 or 8 blood vessels that needed to be replaced, and then went out to tell my husband and daughter they would have to do open heart surgery and take veins from my leg and replace those blocked blood vessels in my heart. And they did that in short order. In addition to what I saw as very serious health problems, I did start to develop some digestive problems along the way. And I took some over-the-counter type medications for that, and it didn't seem to help much. So by the time that I made an appointment to see Dr. Greenlaw and talk about the colonoscopy, I also had many other digestive problems to discuss.
Now I would like to tell you about the medications that Beverly was taking. She was on 4 different medications for high blood pressure. One of them causes potassium to be lost from the body, so she was also taking a potassium supplement. In addition, she was on a trial of Lipitor for cholesterol elevation. Let's focus for a moment on Beverly's diabetes. She was insulin dependent, not only taking long-acting insulin every day, but several times during the day, she required injections of regular insulin to control her blood sugars. And remember, she had complications of her diabetes.
I had so many things that I really didn't know what to work on next to try to keep under control. I was so worried about myself and how I was feeling and what I was going to do if this thing progressed, or if I couldn't get those kidneys under control, or if the veins that they had replaced the arteries with in my heart blocked again. So I really was in a hopeless situation, and I knew I had to make some firm decisions and life changes.
In our discussions, it was obvious to Beverly, and it was obvious to me, that she had exhausted all the traditional medical interventions that could help with her diseases and complications. She was asking me, what could I do that would improve my situation? Now, we talked about lifestyle change, her nutrition, her exercise, what stresses were going on in her life. And could she make some changes that might begin to address her diseases? And she was interested. I recommended that she try the CHIP program, and she agreed. As Beverly and I talked about lifestyle change, therapeutic lifestyle change, we talked about her multiple diseases and how the CHIP program could address all of those. The idea that if you treat one problem with a lifestyle change, you begin to treat all problems simultaneously that are lifestyle related. And that seemed like a perfect idea for Beverly's situation. Now for the really fun part of this story. Beverly signed up to take the CHIP program in September and October of 2009, and I would like to share with you some of her laboratory data. In the beginning, her cholesterol was 263, and after the CHIP program, it was down to 170. When we looked out 5 months later, it was 202, and a year after that, 178. It is not unusual for people's numbers to improve with some ups and downs over time, and she has continued to improve. Notice her weight loss at the end of the CHIP program was 15 pounds, 5 months later, 25 pounds, and then in February, a year later, 40 pounds off, and in June of 2012, 57 pounds off, and that's where she leveled out. Notice the dress size going from 18 to 16 to 14 and then 12, and now she's shopping in the size 8 to 10 rack.
Then I noticed that I could eat a great deal without taking more insulin. The other thing I noticed is I seemed to be losing weight, eating more, but losing weight. And that gave me some encouragement. I think probably just in the first weeks, I lost 10 pounds or more. As I became more involved with the program, I noticed that I could get the blood sugar levels under control. That was a big thing for me. And I was feeling a lot better.
The big story here is that she's off insulin and controlling her diabetes with metformin and lifestyle change alone. And let's not forget that Beverly was suffering from severe complications of her diabetes. With the taking of the CHIP program, the laser treatments stopped, and over the next 2 or 3 years, not one laser treatment was necessary. Her ophthalmologist was stunned at that result because that is so seldom seen in traditional medicine.
Then the neuropathy, that was a problem. In the auditorium where we had our CHIP program, there were steps, and every time we went to our seats or got up to get water or have a break, we would use those steps, and I needed help a lot of the times because I couldn't feel the steps. The steps themselves in my feet, with my feet. If I couldn't see them, I wouldn't know they were there. And so someone noticed and gave me some help when I needed to get up out of my seat. And now it's so different because even if I change socks and I have heavier socks on or lighter socks, I can feel the fibers in the socks, and it was something I couldn't feel before. Just recently, the doctor checked my feet with the little wire to see how your neuropathy is, if it's progressing, and he could find no evidence of it at all.
Neuropathy is something most people would say is not able to be improved by medical therapy. You would use pain medicine to control the discomfort, but you would not expect neuropathy to go away. And in Beverly's case, her neuropathy steadily improved till it is now no longer an issue in her life. Incidentally, her heartburn improved within 2 weeks of starting the CHIP program.
I would have been happy before I started CHIP if any of the diseases that I've talked about would have been helped, even to any degree. That's how desperate I was. And now I see that not only the diseases were Some of them reversed. All of them improved, that's for sure. But it changed me as a person. I see myself sort of as CEO and president and chairman of the board of all the decisions that are made for my body, and do everything I can to make the right decisions day by day.